Okay, it's 0600. We're live on, well, it's 0606. We're live on the Brushfire Mind. It's time to talk about what? It's Totar Win Tursday.
Win. This guy so much sack. He protect, he attack. This why no more homo erotic rocket ranches. Got it? Got it. Oh jeez. So much wang.
So the first thing I gotta say, thanks. So yeah, very very special thank you to John Ward who agreed to let us use that little snip of his song Totar Win, and uh, frankly we decided to theme Thursdays the Totar Win Tursday after that fantastically hilarious song. So, cheers, mate.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed to John Ward and you are subscribed to us, go subscribe to John Ward. He's hysterical.
Absolutely. And if you are subscribed to John Ward and you're not subscribed to us, well, fix that shit too. Because we need a bunch of new subscribers. Whoa. Okay, so it's Thursday morning. We watched the debates last night and the night before, and well, Totar Win. The clear victor in the Democrat debates is absolutely Donald Trump. The man is living 100% rent free in their heads. They, guys, if y'all missed it, their entire platform, the literal extent of the Democrat argumentative position is that Donald Trump is a racist and socialism is good. That's it. That is all they're selling. They're selling you your money at the low price of perpetual indenture.
Yeah, yeah. The man, I got about 20 minutes into the debate, the one that happened 2 nights ago. I was like, oh my God, all Donald Trump has to do is not screw up, and he's going to win 2020. And because he's Trump, I could even picture him saying things like, oh yeah, I'm a jerk, totally awesome, the biggest jerk you ever knew. But do you want the jerk or do you want the socialist? Hmm? Hmm? And it's a no-brainer.
And you look at there's this channel called Freedom Tunes, and he did this fantastic little cartoon comparing the politics of yesterday to the politics of today. And I'm talking like the politics of the year 2000 to the politics of the year 2016, right? And it's stuff like the conservative says to the liberal, um, you're just all those programs are just pure socialism. Oh my God, no, you're so hyperbolic. It's not socialism. It's just spending money on stuff people need. And then it fast forwards, and she's saying, "Oh my God, how do you not understand that socialism is totally the right answer and it's going to save everybody's lives?" And we're talking about a cartoon that's uh, 3 or 4 years old, I guess, and it's, I mean, painfully just dead nuts relevant today.
Also, with regard to totally winning, um, we come back to the debates. Yeah, but just, we got to talk about the Donald's tweets. Man, he just he. You want to talk about living rent free in their heads? Normally, the left controls the media at large, Hollywood, 24-hour news networks, and Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Except the Donald has just invaded their safe space, and he doesn't just invade their safe space and give them a little nudge. No. He drops in with cymbals from band class. It just goes clang, clang, clang.
Oh, symbols, not like iconography. Gotcha.
Yes. Was that a play on words? Was
No,
it?
no. Now you're stretching. So,
You're right.
um,
No, but Baltimore's rat infested, you see.
yes, an infestation only ever refers to black and brown people. So here's the thing: the Democrats are right about something. They're absolutely right about this one crucial issue. Across the United States, we do have large cities that have huge problems which disproportionately affect black and brown people. And all of these cities have two things in common: a large concentration of black and brown people and almost exclusive Democrat leadership. So they, it blows my mind that the Democrats keep bringing up Flint, Michigan, in these debates, and what a tragedy the whole situation in Flint, Michigan, with their water supply is. It's like, yeah, it's a bunch of Democrats that pulled some crooked, shady shit to try and filter tax money into their own pockets and screwed the people. And the people there are, they're living miserably. They can only drink bottled water because the local water is so polluted, and the problem's not getting fixed. And oh wait, but did they elect? Did did they get rid of the Democrat that screwed it up? Not only did they not get rid of the Democrats that screwed it up, they didn't get rid of the Democrat that screwed it up.
I'm reminded of another fantastic statement by the president, where he said black people should totally vote for me. They've been voting Democrat, and what's it got them? What have they got to lose by trying something different? And that's part of why he wins, man, because he'll just say the thing. Like, he's not afraid to call the ugly baby ugly. And, oh, you're not supposed to do that. That's so rude. I also love how it didn't take but like 5 minutes for everybody on the internet to put together super cuts of all these other people, including Elijah Cummings himself, saying that Baltimore was rat and crime infested.
Yep.
The one that just cracked me up the most was Bernie Sanders with his, you would think that parts of this city were a third world country. So Bernie's a racist? Or that's your bias showing. You just hate evil Cheeto Grump so bad.
Shit, I thought
Sorry.
that was my alarm going off.
Nope, that was mine. My bad.
All right, we got about 5 more minutes, and then
Or you,
I have to hit the road.
I understand, but it's your bias showing. You think evil Cheeto Hitler Drumpf is so terrible. It doesn't matter what he says. It's racist. It's racist. Even if what he says is technically true, he's saying it for racist reasons. And it's because, well, he wins. He beat Hillary. He beat Ted Cruz. He beat Jeb Bush. He beat Jeb Bush badly. Um, and in fact, the more establishment you are, the more he seems to possess the ability to beat you, to win, basically. And well, they can't have that. They can't have a guy like Donald Trump come in off the bench and get the starting quarterback position, because then that's going to say, well, hey, anybody could do it, instead of this special elite club that we say you have to pick from every election cycle. And you've been fed a narrative way back from the beginning, way back from when he first came down the escalator, and he said that there were some rapists coming across the border from Mexico. He didn't say all Mexicans were rapists and murderers and criminals or whatever, but you were fed a narrative that that's what he said, or at the very least, that's what he meant. Then you were fed a narrative about Russian collusion, and you've been fed a narrative about Donald Trump is racist this, and Donald Trump is racist that, and Donald Trump is racist this. And you're, despite all that, Donald Trump is still actually managing to accomplish things. And it's making the media and the left and everybody else panic even more. So they've redoubled their attacks until we get to the point to where Donald Trump can literally say the exact same thing that Bernie Sanders said just a couple of years ago. And Donald Trump's a racist.
Yeah, a couple things about the narrative, real quick too. That whew, still working through this first cup, y'all. So, a couple things about the narrative, real quick. One of them that just blows my mind. I mean, I have a hard time. I have a hard time understanding how a person can buy into the narrative so readily. The obvious answer is that they want it to be true. They need it to be true. Um, the the average Democrat voter out there is they're they're low intelligence enough and insecure enough that they desperately need it to be the case that America is just a bunch of racist white supremacists, and we all voted for Donald Trump because we want to burn out all the black men. That's a ridiculous position. It's absolutely ludicrous. America is not the last free place in the world. It's the first and only. It's the bulkhead. This is the beachhead. This is the original foothold of liberty. And from this, all legitimate global liberty has spread. They like to talk about slavery reparations and stuff. Okay, well, okay, tell me this, black and brown men. If I give you the button that says slavery never happened, will you push it? You want to think about your answer. You want to think long and hard about your answer to that question. If I give you the button that says slavery never happened, and let me be clear, I don't mean uh, the Pacific trade or the Atlantic slave trade. I mean not the bizarre uh, new agey concept of chattel slavery that sprung up a couple hundred years ago. I mean slavery. Never, ever, ever was anyone ever enslaved. Do you push that button? I bet if you think about it for just a couple of seconds, your answer is no. And if it's not, then you need to really think about how you understand the value of human life and the consequences of historical activity. Now, the other thing that I want to tag real quick, um, I can kind of understand how a person who's low information, low resource, low consciousness, or low conscientiousness, who's just not paying attention, desperately clings to this hope that everybody's racist, so that it's it's not that they're wrong, it's that everyone else is evil. Um, but the one that really blows my mind is the LGBTQ thing. The whole LGBT, like American Horror Show ran this whole season that was anti-Trump. I watched half of the first episode to see what it was about, and that half of the first episode, there's a bunch of Democrats watching the debate or watching the election results run in, and among them is a couple of lesbians that are married, and their daughter, uh, and they're both freaking out, and the daughter's screaming, "But mommy, I don't want you to not be married anymore. I don't want the bad man to take you away." What? What? I mean, at no point did he ever say anything to the effect that he even opposed gay marriage. Like, many of y'all know my position on the gay marriage question has always been that it was never an issue that should have been argued because it's not the legislation of marriage is not something, a power that belongs to the state. The government doesn't have any business talking about marriage, and it sure as hell didn't have any business wasting billions of our taxpayer dollars on litigating the question because it's not their damn business. Donald Trump seems to have taken a pretty similar position on it. It's not an issue that's important, that should be considered under the law, and it's not an authority that the government should have ever taken. But at no point has he ever made overtures to limit or curtail gay marriage or any kind of gay rights. And that is in stark contrast to every other politician who is running for office. Even now, in the last election, he was the first candidate ever to run without running for traditional marriage. And somehow he gets smeared as anti-LGBT. I mean, how hard can you lie?
Are you a Democrat seeking office?
Apparently. And then the other thing I pulled up YouTube and just looked for the highlight reels because I wanted to look at some of the titles they had. Because this is the kind of stuff I was expecting to find. Moderates take on progressives at Democratic debate. Moderate candidates like John Hickenlooper and John Delaney. No, shut your fuckholes. Hickenlooper and Delaney are far left-wing extremists.
They're just more pragmatic about it.
What you need to understand is that all the rest of those candidates, they're not far left-wing extremists compared to Hickenlooper and Delaney. They're just dramatically further left. Hickenlooper and Delaney are basically the furthest possible left that a legitimate American politician can be. Beyond that is pure Soviet socialism. And most of these candidates are pushing for something more akin to Mao's China. It's that simple.
So yeah, that means Donald Trump wins the debates and he wins the tweet wars. I'm not tired of winning yet, Chris.
Oh, no. But
you're not tired of winning yet, but do you want to win more?
More. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for this morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I've got to get down the road, and I'm gonna do something I don't usually do. I'm gonna close you on the title splash screen so that you get it just one more time because I really do appreciate it. Hey, John Ward, brother, if you got a chance to watch this, please leave me a comment and let me know that. The rest of you, leave me some comments and questions. Call me an asshole. Tell me I'm wrong. Whatever. Let's have a conversation and break that open. And with all that, Cameron, do you have anything else to close on?
This is normally the part where people say subscribe to our Patreon, but we're not going to do that because Patreon sucks.
Yeah, we actually have a Patreon, but I've stopped talking about it. There's nothing there. We don't have anybody putting money into it anymore.
So wake the hell up, people.
Shut it down. Wake the hell up. Subscribe to the channel. Maybe we'll figure out a way for you to send us some money later. But we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Win. This guy so much sack. He protect, he attack. This why no more homo erotic rocket ranches. Got it? Got it. Oh, jeez. So much wang.